The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F*** by Mark Manson. A counterintuitive approach to living a good life. Hello and welcome to a new video on our channel. Have you ever wondered how some people seem to navigate life's storms with surprising calm, while others drown in a glass of water? The answer could be in two words: emotional intelligence. Today we are going to explore this fascinating concept through a book that has revolutionized the way we think about success and happiness, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F*** by Mark Manson. In this book, Manson challenges us to rethink our relationship with problems, stress, and our emotions. But what if I told you that one of the keys to developing solid emotional intelligence could be in something as simple and fundamental as our breathing? Yes, you heard right. Breathing, an action we perform automatically every second of our lives, can be a powerful tool for managing our emotions and reactions. So, if you're ready to discover how emotional intelligence and conscious breathing can transform your life, stay with us. Prepare for a journey that will lead you to understand how to manage your worries, focus on what really matters, and most importantly, how to breathe through life's challenges. Let's get started. 1. Rethinking happiness. In his provocative approach, Mark Manson invites his readers to reconsider the traditional notion of happiness. Unlike the constant push toward positive thinking that dominates much of self-help literature, Manson proposes a more realistic and earthy vision. It suggests that by accepting our limitations and flaws, we not only become more authentic but also more fulfilled. This reframing involves recognizing that we cannot always control what happens in our lives, but we can control how we react to it. By embracing our imperfections and failures, we stop wasting energy in the unattainable pursuit of perfection. Instead, we find contentment in our imperfect existence, learning to value the lessons life presents us and finding strength in our vulnerabilities. This realistic approach to happiness, according to Manson, is not only more attainable but also more lasting. 2. Values and metrics. In his approach to values and metrics, Mark Manson highlights the crucial importance of selecting values that are not only meaningful but also realistic and achievable. This selection process is essential because the values we choose guide our actions and decisions. Manson argues that when our values are superficial or unattainable, we set ourselves up for dissatisfaction and failure. On the other hand, by choosing deeper and more authentic values such as honesty, compassion, or perseverance, we establish a solid foundation for a fuller and more satisfying life. Furthermore, Manson places special emphasis on how we measure success or failure, that is, our personal metrics. These metrics significantly influence how we perceive our happiness and achievements. If our metrics are unrealistic or overly demanding, we will constantly find ourselves in a state of disappointment and discontent. For example, if we measure our success solely in terms of wealth or recognition, we might overlook essential aspects such as personal relationships or personal growth. On the other hand, if we adopt more balanced metrics focused on personal well-being and development, our perception of happiness becomes more realistic and sustainable. Manson invites us, therefore, to reflect on what values and metrics we are prioritizing and how these influence our satisfaction with life. 3. Choice of fights. In his analysis of choosing fights, Mark Manson delves into the idea that not all problems are worth our energy and attention. This careful selection of our battles is essential to maintaining balance in life. Manson argues that we often wear ourselves out worrying about trivial things or issues that are out of our control. By doing this, we not only waste valuable resources such as time and emotional energy, but we also diminish our ability to face more significant challenges. The key, according to Manson, is to differentiate between what is truly important and what is secondary or irrelevant. This involves a deep understanding of our priorities and values. By focusing on struggles that are aligned with these values, we become more effective and find a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment. For example, instead of agonizing over the judgment of others, we could focus on developing genuine relationships and personal growth. This ability to discern and select our struggles wisely not only leads us to a more balanced life, but also empowers us to face the challenges that really matter with greater clarity and conviction. 4. Responsibility versus blame. In his exploration of the distinction between responsibility and blame, Mark Manson offers an illuminating perspective. Accepting responsibility for our circumstances, according to Manson, does not mean taking the blame for everything that happens to us. There is a crucial difference between recognizing our role in our experiences and flagellating ourselves with guilt. Being responsible means understanding how our decisions and actions have contributed to our current situation without submerging ourselves in a spiral of destructive self-criticism. Taking responsibility is a vital step toward effective personal growth. It means taking charge of our lives, learning from our mistakes, and making more informed decisions in the future. This attitude allows us to move from a position of victimization to one of empowerment. For example, instead of feeling defeated by failure, we can analyze our role in it, learn from this experience, and use it to grow. In doing so, we develop greater resilience and a deeper understanding of ourselves. Manson emphasizes that taking responsibility for our lives frees us from the trap of guilt and sets us on a path of constant learning and improvement. This attitude not only improves our perception of ourselves, but also strengthens our relationships with others as we become more aware of how our actions and decisions affect those around us. In short, differentiating between responsibility and blame is essential for healthy and productive personal development. 5. The value of uncertainty. In his discussion of the value of uncertainty, Mark Manson promotes the idea that embracing the unknown and challenges can be extraordinarily enriching. Uncertainty, although often feared, is an endless source of opportunities for learning and growth. Manson suggests that instead of resisting uncertainty, we should embrace it as a catalyst for personal development. Constant questioning and curiosity are powerful tools in this process. By keeping an open mind and questioning our beliefs and assumptions, we can discover new aspects of ourselves and the world around us. This inquisitive attitude leads us to explore new ideas, face our fears, and push the limits of our comfort zone. Manson argues that at the heart of uncertainty lies the possibility of change and transformation. When faced with unknown situations, we are forced to adapt and learn, which makes us more resilient and versatile. For example, by traveling to an unfamiliar country, we learn to navigate different cultures, which can broaden our perspective and empathy. Likewise, facing an unknown professional challenge can improve our skills and confidence. In short, Manson emphasizes that uncertainty is not something we should avoid, but rather embrace. In doing so, we open ourselves to a world of possibilities, growth, and a deeper understanding of who we are and what we are capable of achieving. Uncertainty, therefore, becomes a valuable teacher in our journey towards self-realization and understanding of the world. 6. Failure and rejection. Mark Manson addresses the topic of failure and rejection not as unfortunate endings, but as crucial and inevitable aspects on the path to personal growth. In his approach, these elements are not obstacles, but necessary steps towards maturity and inner strength. Manson argues that by facing failure and rejection, we learn valuable lessons about resilience, adaptability, and perseverance. These challenges, although painful, act as catalysts for personal development. They force us to examine our weaknesses, rethink our strategies, and strengthen our resolve. For example, a failure on a professional project may reveal areas we need to improve or new directions to explore. Likewise, rejection in personal relationships can teach us to be more empathetic and better understand our own needs and those of others. Manson emphasizes that it is crucial to embrace these difficult times with an attitude of learning and growth. Instead of allowing the fear of failure to paralyze us, we must see each setback as an opportunity to develop and evolve. This transformative perspective allows us to face future challenges with greater confidence and wisdom, paving the way for deeper and more meaningful personal growth. 7. The importance of saying no. In his discussion of the importance of saying no, Mark Manson highlights the skill as crucial to setting clear boundaries and prioritizing meaningful aspects of our lives. Saying no is more than a simple refusal, it is an affirmation of our values, a defense of our time and energy. Manson maintains that learning to reject commitments, opportunities, or demands that do not align with our core values is essential to living authentically and fulfillingly. This practice helps us avoid dispersion in activities that do not enrich us or truly represent us. For example, by saying no to a work task that exceeds our limit, we not only protect our well-being, but also reaffirm our commitment to quality work and work-life balance. Likewise, rejecting a social relationship that does not resonate with our principles strengthens our identity and allows us to cultivate deeper, more meaningful relationships. Manson emphasizes that saying no requires courage and self-knowledge, but it is a fundamental step toward a life that is more focused and consistent with what we truly value. By being selective in our choices, we not only gain control over our lives, but we also open ourselves up to more authentic and rewarding experiences. Ultimately, saying no is a powerful act of personal affirmation that leads us to a fuller, truer existence for ourselves. 8. Death and mortality. In his reflection on death and mortality, Mark Manson explores how awareness of our finitude can be a powerful source of motivation and focus. Accepting mortality rather than fearing it propels us to live with greater purpose and urgency. Manson argues that by recognizing that our existence is temporary, we are more likely to value the time we have and use it wisely. This acceptance leads us to prioritize what really matters, discarding the trivial and superficial. For example, the awareness that life is short may encourage us to pursue our passions more intensely, to repair damaged relationships, or to leave a meaningful legacy. Additionally, it helps us appreciate ordinary moments, finding beauty and meaning in the everyday. Manson suggests that by embracing our mortality, we adopt a more balanced perspective on life and death. This understanding frees us from the paralysis caused by fear of the unknown and allows us to live with an authenticity and fullness that are only possible when we fully accept our own mortality. Ultimately, by facing the reality of our death, we can live a more focused and enriching life, making the most of each day. Conclusion. In his conclusion, Mark Manson emphasizes that to achieve a full and satisfying life, it is essential to face challenges bravely and accept our own limitations. This involves a process of introspection and honesty with oneself, recognizing that not everything in life can be perfect or controlled. Manson encourages readers to reevaluate their priorities, focusing on what truly has value and meaning. The essence of Manson's message is that an authentic life is not measured by the absence of problems, but by the ability to handle them constructively. It urges us to divert our energy from the relentless pursuit of superficial happiness toward building a more resilient and meaningful existence. This requires constant evaluation of our choices and a commitment to our deepest values. In the end, Manson proposes that a fulfilling life arises from our ability to adapt, learn, and grow through our experiences. True satisfaction, he suggests, is found in the journey of overcoming obstacles and in the personal growth that comes from these challenges. Therefore, it invites us to adopt a more balanced and realistic perspective on life, where accepting our imperfections and facing our fears becomes the path to greater fulfillment and happiness. And that's all for today, friends. I hope you enjoyed this trip as much as I did. If you liked what you saw and want to continue exploring and learning together, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss any videos. Do you have any reflections or personal experiences that you would like to share? I would love to read your comments, so feel free to write below. And if this video has given you something valuable, I would really appreciate it if you gave it a like. That really helps. Thank you for joining me today. It is a pleasure to share these moments with you. Until next time, and keep shining.